We are in there.
We are ready.
Late game with first pick, first ban. Thinking about that ban, I wouldn't be surprised to see a Zagara Thrall. It is a Thrall.
Yep. Let's putting bets on Zagara.
Yeah, I could see a Zagara. I honestly, or Li Ming.
Yep, or
If
Li
you don't
Ling.
want to play against Li Ming, I would ban it because
And
that.
as we mentioned last game, and there's the Zagara, Rhaegar with the nerf has gone far down on the priority of banning. He still is definitely viable, but I don't think we'll see him as early pick as we were, and definitely not quite ban material. And then late game goes ahead and picks up Li Ming. She's very good right now.
I honestly think if you see like an early Rhaegar nowadays, it probably means that team is going into some kind of strange melee comp. And by
Yeah,
strange melee, I mean not like one tank Thrall or one tank Sonya, but
yeah.
Illidan or like last
Sure,
game we
because I
saw
mean the
Butcher.
lightning shield is still good,
Hmm.
and his level 13 Earth Shield talent only does 12% of your HP as a shield now instead of 15. So it's still a decent shield, but yeah, he's just not going to be as high priority. And Mean Green Comets goes ahead, counters with that Jaina is the other
Wizard
nice
Duel.
bursty mage.
Yeah, Wizard Duel and Falstad. Interestingly enough, at the NA regional, Falstad was well represented, but had a very low win rate.
30% win rate,
Yeah,
actually.
so
It surprised me how high priority a lot of teams placed on him and how low his win rate actually ended up being.
and I actually did a piece just came out today where I talked to a couple EU coaches about picks at just a bunch of different predictions, and one of the things they predicted was Falstad is really going to drop off. So I guess we'll see if that happens.
Would
Meanwhile,
not surprise me too much.
Tassadar picked up by late game. This is interesting. This is a pretty early task,
Yeah, early Tassadar. Um,
and you got to wonder if this means we're going to see a melee potentially.
I mean, and that's mainly why you pick Tassadar these days. Is you've got a melee pairs very well with Sonya. Would not be surprised to see a Sonya coming out of them, especially with his talent that allows your auto attacks to heal you while the shield is on. That's a really good one. I mean, I do really like Falstad still on this map. Just going back to Mean Green Comets, because of the global presence and how small the map is, you can get a lot of use out of that fly. And late game goes for Greymane, so I can Tassadar shields definitely synergize with Greymane.
It seems kind of early on the gray main. Like I don't know if it really needs to be picked up, and it makes me wonder if maybe we won't see something a bit weird. Um,
Oh, I
like
think that's definitely possible.
it's kind of early to pick up both those heroes. Like arguably Tassadar could get banned. Like that's always a threat at the
Hmm.
midpoint bans, but I don't know. It's
Do you
interesting to
think
see
we'll
them.
see Tassadar solo support?
I kind of doubt it. I do one combination we've seen meet with some pretty big successes. Brightwing Tassadar,
Mm-hmm.
and on this map, the global presence of Brightwing is pretty good.
For
And
sure.
I think also that depending on what happens with Mean Green Comets with the rest of their draft, it actually could be a decent matchup. And we're gonna see a ban on Tyrande from Mean
Yeah,
Green
so
Comets.
taking away that other half support, because I mean that is another pairing,
Yep.
Tassadar Charonda, and it's quite a good pairing, especially with that Hunter's Mark. Then they could have just grabbed her and a tank as well. We don't really have a whole lot of healers or tanks banned out yet, so expect to see late game ban probably either uh, a support or a tank, whatever they don't want to play against.
Yeah, they have to be careful here because Mean Green Comets is gonna have the picks coming out of this, and like banning a warrior seems good, but Mean Green Comets can just pick the next one in line. A support might not be a bad idea, especially if they already have a specific support in mind. Like right now, if they're like, we're going to go Brightwing, they could ban a support. They are going to ban
Yeah,
ETC.
and that's a fairly common second ban
Yes.
I've seen. That's just not something you really want to play against. And as of right now, their team comp is not built to deal with an ETC. So it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, they would have a lot of trouble. So yeah, good call. And now a Johanna pick for Mean Green Comets. I like that. I think that's going to be good, especially if Greymane overextends. There's also the blind on Greymane, so those are both good assets to have. I'm not sure if you really need to pick the support here. It depends on what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to just pick the best available support, the other thing we have to mention here, TBK, is Rhaegar's still on the table. So
Yeah.
late game could go that. They could go
Rhaegar is still on
Rhaegar
the
Warrior
table.
right now.
It is going to be Medic, though. And I like that. Medic does synergize quite well with Falstad. It'll be interesting to see if they pick up maybe a Raynor or something for their last pick, which would also synergize with Stim Drone just to give that Morales more than one target.
I'd like to see maybe a second melee for Mean Green Comets because you
Sonya
need
would
to
be
protect
great.
that Morales. Yeah, Sonya's a good pick. You could go even Illidan's okay in that comp. I mean, you'd like to have the task, but I think Illidan will work okay. But having said that, late game picks up Muradin, which is actually a good protection against melee.
Yeah, and against Illidan in general.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, Johanna and Muradin right now, just with the way the tanks are, you have Johanna, Muradin, and ETC. Those are your big three. ETC is the one that normally gets banned out because you don't want to pick ETC early because you can super easily counter him with a lot of people. So you usually would leave that ETC pick to the end, so that's why you see him in that second ban phase a lot more often than, say, like a first ban.
Really interested to see what late game does. They're running out of time here, and they just pick Vala. Interesting decision. I thought maybe they might go... So we are going to see the solo Tassadar.
Yeah. That does surprise me a little bit with this comp.
I thought they might go Raynor and just deny it from Mean Green Comets because of the synergy between Raynor and Stim Drone. And wow.
Zeratul. Oh, Josh. Could we see a Shadow Assault Stim Drone Zeratul?
Oh no.
Oh, please. Please let it be so.
I would argue that Void Prison obviously is always good, but arguably on this map, there's no bosses on the map.
Mm-hmm.
There's no specific objectives that you can zone out around reliably.
Sure.
So arguably, this would be one of the better maps for Shadow Assault.
It would be. And not only that, I mean, Shadow Assault is, with its changes in the last few patches, Shadow Assault is actually quite viable now. It can do quite a bit of damage. It's usually just passed up on because Void Prison is such a big presence and can just give you so much control. But with the setup they have, and they've also got Gust for that disengage or that setup if they need to. They don't necessarily need Void Prison here.
Yeah, I would say if you're going to take Gust with this composition, it's primarily going to be disengage because you actually don't want to blow the enemy team into your Morales with this comp.
You do not.
And so I don't think that that's what we'll see. But like if they do take Gust, I don't foresee too many aggressive Gusts is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But I guess we'll see. Jaina is like seems squishy, but you know, drop a blizzard on everybody who just got gusted, and nobody's going to be turning around to fight you. They're probably going to be running. So
yeah, and late game, it'll be interesting because between Jaina and Zeratul and even Falstad, Li Ming, Greymane, and Vala could get popped pretty easily if Tassadar's not around. And even when Tassadar is around, he's going to be hard-pressed to keep everybody alive. So late game's really going to have to focus somebody and get that 5-4 advantage early or go for their picks.
I think you said it. Like, you know, Morales in an extended team fight is going to do a ton of healing. And you can't say the same for Tassadar. So it's going to be interesting to see how late game makes this composition work.
Yep. So on the side of late game, we have Menachio on Vala, Gygas on Li Ming, Alarius on Tassadar, TGA2 on Muradin, and Jack Burton on Greymane.
On the side of Mean Green Comets, the meanest, greenest Protoss that you've ever met, Zeratul, being played by Akuta, Calgare on Falstad, Phoenix Sniper on Morales, Dead Fear on Jaina. That's probably a good thing to fear. And Z Fury on Johanna.
So Greymane's going to go ahead and split off, just go straight top. We got a 5-man going in the middle. Nice Oracle, actually, to reveal them as they were coming up and stop that initial aggression.
Another factor we didn't talk about is the Oracle and Zeratul. But meanwhile, Johanna just goes hard, just trying to get somebody. Burden in the front line, zoning the enemy team while Li Ming unleashes the damage.
Yeah, and this is gonna be where late game is gonna have a problem. In any sort of extended team fight, they're not gonna have the advantage because of that Morales.
It'd be interesting to see. I think a lot of it rests on the shoulders of this Morales, and Zeratul going very aggressive. Hits 2 with the cleave, gets hit by the Stormbolt, but yeah, Morales just gonna heal him through it.
Yeah, and Johanna, I would argue, is probably one of the best tanks. And just see, look at this, nice, going around, jumped on the mount, went ahead of the invisible Tassadar just to body block. Great pickup by them.
Yeah, now Phoenix Sniper completely out of mana. He's gonna have to tap well here just to stay in the fight. Early game, this is gonna be an issue. Later game, not so much, especially at 20. And we do have Shrine spawning here.
I do want to point out that late game's Greymane up here is bullying the crap out of Falstad.
Which is actually pretty impressive. Falstad's a pretty good duelist, and in lane can be kind of a bully. And they're going to get that top shrine for the moment as a result.
Yeah, Greymane does have very good poke. He's not going his Gilnean cocktail build, though. At least not so far.
Yeah, I think you could still go cocktail build without the level 1 talent, but I guess we'll see.
I would like to see a very aggressive, more werewolf style, Worgen style Greymane build.
Yeah, and now in the bottom lane here, Mean Green Comets just trying to hold on to the shrine. Meanwhile, late game, wow, and in the top, Greymane actually does fall to the Zeratul rotation.
Yeah. Beautiful job by Zeratul to sneak up behind him as Falstad engaged the Greymane, and they were just able to knock him off real fast. And get the level 4 talent advantage. Mean Green with a significant level lead right now.
Yeah, and they're rotating into the middle here. This Tassar is going to have to be really careful. Yeah, he's a safe hero, but you can get blown up by these 2 heroes, and oh wow, they barely deny the Dragon Knight in the bottom here. Good job by late game to do so.
It's pretty insane. It took all 3 members of late game to push that Johanna off because of Morales' just constant healing.
And yeah, the 1v1 in the top goes back as Greymane on Falstad, Wolf versus Chicken. Chicken is currently, oh wow, it's so close, TBK, Chicken win.
Well, it was really funny, too, because it looked like Falstad was trying to disengage from this. He did the barrel roll, but it wasn't quite enough, so he actually didn't jump over and was forced to finish the fight, but he ended up winning anyway.
It's fight or literal flight in this case, and the flight did not work, so fight it was. And in the bottom, Zeratul against Vala and Murden, very low, but he does manage to escape.
And Tassadar doing just an absolutely amazing job in the middle, blocking that channel the entire time until his teammates were able to take the shrine on the bottom. Just huge props to him.
Falstad almost gets turned into fried chicken by Li Ming in the top, but barrel rolls over the wall this time. He's going to be okay, but late game, capping the Dragon Knight. No one... Oh! A couple of close calls here, TBK, as
just
the shrine
and
just
forth.
changed hands. Yeah. Interestingly, we do see a Frostbolt build from Jaina, so let's keep an eye on that as the game keeps going. That's some good burst potential for sure.
Yeah, the bottom just a complete skirmish going back and forth. Zeratul's going to go ahead and cap that top again. Li Ming just shooting blind, trying to kill him. Woo!
You need to be so careful, Li Ming.
I know.
Like, you are... Oh, she is going to get away, but... And the bottom is a brawl too. Greymane trying to get a piece of that Morales, but no success yet. Johanna just trying to clear the wave, zone out the enemy team. And
that's the problem. Morales is just keeping him up.
Oh, yeah. And in the top, wow, Li Ming. Oh, the W whiffs, though. And it looks like, wow, Li Ming getting away. If that singularity spike hits, that's a dead Li Ming.
Yeah, that was just barely a miss on Zeratul's part. Very unfortunate for him. He's going to go ahead and channel, but Greymane is there, and he's got a lot more health.
Oh, but Jaina's like, yeah, sorry. You may have misunderstood what was happening here. We're going to take this Dragon Knight. And it looks like they are going to get it. There's really no contention on either shrine. And we have Zeratul piling the Dragon Knight mid.
Yeah, congrats to Mean Green for the first Dragon Knight of the game. And nice rotation, actually, by Jaina. The Greymane realized that he was dead, so he just stayed in there to get as much damage on as he could. I mean, that's not a bad thing to do. If you know that you're going to die anyways, it's pointless to run. You might as well get as much damage into the enemy team as you can.
Yeah, and in that case, like you said, he knew he was dead. Dragon Knight very low now, trying to maybe go top, get some, like those towers both have about 2/3 of their health. He's looking to maybe go in, but yeah, I mean, there's still ammo, so that Dragon Knight's going to be done pretty fast. More than that, there's a Li Ming.
Yeah.
So that's it for Zeratul.
They did manage to grab 2 towers and almost a 3rd one down there in the middle. That'll fall pretty quick. But not only that, they hit level 10 a full level before their opponents.
I'm really sorry to tell you that it's not Shadow Assault.
Dang it!
Yeah. I thought, I don't know, I thought it would be good. Jaina is the only one who hasn't selected. Void Prison goes down in the mid. Zeratul, I don't know if he can really follow this up. Yeah, and he's not going to.
There's a very odd Void Prison placement, as there really wasn't any sort of follow-up from that. It was almost just kind of a, I don't know, useless gesture, really. It's just like, I can trap all 3 of you dudes.
And one thing I do like that Zeratul is doing, besides the Void Prison, is he's constantly threatening that Li Ming, and that's good, because you want to put that fear in her. You want to make sure that she doesn't feel comfortable playing really far forward.
Mean Green trying to steal this giant camp, but Greymane saw it. A huge engage in the middle. Li Ming comes down. Ring of Frost does go down as well onto Vala, and Vala gets blown up by Jaina. Stim Drone went down onto Zeratul, but Zeratul did end up falling by the combined powers of Muradin and Li Ming. Jaina will fall shortly, and Johanna is in big trouble.
Yeah, great. It was actually a good play by Johanna to move into the Li Ming to block the projectiles, which did happen. But Li Ming teleported in with Calamity and just ended the Jaina. So
oddly enough, the fight really, Mean Green got a little bit more out of that. They did get the giant camp, and both sides lost 3 members. So not really a whole lot out of that team fight.
Yeah, the only thing is that late game actually got more like XP in a relative sense because they were behind, so they got the catch-up XP. But yeah, like it was kind of like just a weird trade that didn't really do anything. And
oh
wow,
no, Vala in way too deep, vaults forward. Nice Void Prison down. Let's see if they can follow up on that. It is Li Ming though. She had that teleport ready right away.
And that was actually sort of a mistake from the Vala player. Hit strafe as soon as she realized she was in trouble, and Condemn immediately canceled it, so it's on full cooldown. And they're down a person. The rotation comes in from Zeratul in the top lane, but not going to pick up the Greymane quite yet.
Yeah, and this is just going to be stalled out for a while. Vala is back up, and top lane is being pushed by late game right now. So there's not going to, unless we get a good rotation, it looks like Medic and Johanna are going to come up to see if they can take that top shrine.
With Zeratul doing so much damage to Tassadar, and Tassadar jukes towards the shrine, but it's no good. Wow, Jaina and Falstad, however, pay the price.
They do, but unfortunately, wow, Greymane actually comes down and around, kind of blocking Zeratul out a little bit to save Tassadar. The wall goes down. Beautiful shift into Worgen form to jump over the kind of badly placed wall and escape.
And Zeratul, wow, Zeratul actually now way ahead of his team. There's a force wall. He's trying to clean it up. He cleans up the Tassadar. Greymane dies, but yeah, he's going to pay the price here.
But a 2-for-1, that was completely worth it as far as the Zeratul standpoint, especially since this is a shrine phase right now.
Yeah, and Falstad's capping bottom right now. So they just need to hold on to this top shrine and get somebody into the middle. Jaina's there now. But they actually realize that late game rotating to the mid to stop Jaina. She gets hit by Vala. The strafe goes out. Jaina losing so much health, and Disintegrate seals the deal.
So Jaina did take Ice Block, but didn't pop it. Interestingly enough.
I didn't see her use it previously, so I'm going to have to assume it was off cooldown, but I don't know.
Maybe he was just super scared and forgot.
And now
that would be kind of scary, 3 people coming at you. And
set
then
with,
a massive purple beam.
yeah, no, she was trying to just get out of there. I don't know. Zeratul just trying to poke, and
Yeah,
he does have Void Prison up. So
both teams back at full strength, and actually late game has almost completely negated the XP lead by Mean Green.
yeah, Mean Green didn't really get a lot done with that advantage. They didn't manage to push anything in. They didn't manage to get shrines. Tassadar drops the wall to no success. Johanna in the middle though, and Zeratul has a Void Prison Panic and doesn't do anything. They do pick up Greymane, and Ring of Frost hits one member. Johanna just trying to push them back, and wow, looks like Mean Green are going to take this.
Yeah, beautiful force wall there, though, to disengage and actually allow the Tassadar and the Li Ming to get away. And there's that Li Ming damage, but look at the medic. The medic just heals straight through the disintegration beam and completely denies the kill.
Oh.
But unfortunately, Tassadar just, I think he pushed his luck just a little too much.
He did. He was kind of styling on the Jaina with the force wall, and now they pick up the Dragon Knight. Again, that's Johanna this time in the Dragon Knight.
Yeah. And that's super unfortunate because that denies those shields that they can use on the structures for at least another 15 or 20 seconds, and they should be able to take this fort no problem.
Yeah, they could probably get a couple of them here. They have a sizable advantage. At this point, Mean Green Comets kind of behind the Dragon Knight. They're catching up now, and yeah, they're going to get this one for sure. Straight pop by Bala, but really does nothing, and they do catch Zeratul. And Greymane tried to get a pick onto Medic there, but does not succeed.
Medic actually with a really nice grenade to disengage him completely from her.
Yeah, it's always when somebody jumps on you as Morales, you always kind of panic, and you're like, I gotta hit him, but sometimes it's better to wait 1 second. Jaina caught up by the wall. Ice block and a Ring of Frost is huge.
Oh, absolutely beautiful. This is huge for Mean Green. So much damage going down. Falstad almost got away. Tassadar came up behind with the Psionic Storm, was able to finish him off. Kind of hiding right now. Jaina doesn't have any mana to really do anything, and Tassadar's just going to try to back here.
Yeah, that's actually what happened, TBKs. They probably could have gotten a lot better out of that fight. But Jaina had nothing in the tank. Like, she used everything she had at the beginning of the fight, and you could tell that that player's probably screaming at their teammates, like, I have no mana, we can't
No
do this.
mana!
Yeah,
I got one Blizzard in me, guys.
That's it. So Jaina is gonna clean up the siege camp at the same time as late game taking their own. And late game trying to rotate into this bottom lane, catch somebody, but they're not gonna succeed for the moment.
Yeah, Tassadar really has been kind of hit and miss with the walls, but he's had a few good ones already. And I'll tell you, one really good wall can make a world of difference.
Absolutely. I mean, in the bottom lane, Johanna a bit far ahead of her team. The wall to keep her zoned out, but medic heals are so on point and really no threat to her life.
And not only that, really good Blizzard by that Jaina to go down right on the other side of the wall to make chasing the Johanna a lot harder. Void Prison goes down, wall comes up, and a beautiful Ring of Frost by Jaina. 2 members instantly deleted, and now Mean Green's on the chase.
I love that Ring of Frost from Dead Fury. That's the second time we've seen him line it up. Deep Fury taking a lot of damage. Morales is going to be able to heal him up. But great coordination between Zeratul and Jaina.
That Ring of Frost was down exactly when that Void Prison ended.
It was a full duration Void Prison. Like, he didn't cancel it early to enable the Ring of Frost. It looked like it ran full duration to me. So good job on the Jaina's part to know the timing. And it's been big for them.
This could be a big push, and this is exactly what they need. They've got a nice minion wave pushing bottom. They really need to push this while they have the advantage, but it doesn't look like they're going to. It looks like they're just going to grab some Merc camps.
Yeah, and
I'm a little surprised with as much power as they've got on that bottom that they're not pressuring that bottom lane more.
Yeah, it looks like they're just going to go top and feel it out. They're pretty close to 20 now. They're 19 and a third, basically, so they also know that as soon as they hit 20, they can win a fight. So they don't have to push it now.
Here's the insanely quick Dragon Knight. They did rotate people up top. They grabbed the shrines. Jaina was there exactly when she needed to be, and this fort's probably going to go there.
Oh, wow, Vala. Again, the panic strafe, and she just dies. Like, Zeratul went in, Assassin bladed back to her. I like it.
You really got to give props to Zeratul. This Aquata has just been completely on point, been super aggressive, and Vala has just been on the back foot all game because of it.
Yeah, and he actually has an interesting build. We see no Wormhole at 13. He has Assassin's Blade, and he's mostly just using Vorpal Blade, which he picked up at 4, to apply pressure. So he goes in, attacks someone, and he can blink out, and then Vorpal Blade back in.
And now that Mean Green has hit 20, and they've got those level 20 talents, this is going to be tough. Reactor 2-0 on Medic is just such a huge deal, both in the Storm, of course, on Jaina, and Rewind on Zeratul. So much burst.
Now, one thing we have to mention here, Mean Green is not going to get a keep from this unless they win a big team fight like right here. The Dragon Knight's not going to win them a keep. Deep Fury taking a lot of damage, gets a safeguard for Morales. Oh, just barely makes it out. And
Void
another
Prison
big
goes in on 2.
Oh,
Ring of Frost just a little early this time. It looks like Johanna's Invincible was actually popped as well, so Mean Green really needs to get out of here as the teamfight is turning. Nice gust by Falstad, allowing them to get Muradin out by himself and kill him. Great ice block by Jaina as well to completely negate that full range orb.
Okay, so the engage in that team fight was kind of a sad moment, but they made the rest of it work. Like you said, the ice block from Jaina is so huge, that would have killed her.
Yeah.
Now
no
they're
question.
going to get this team. Now they're going to get it. Go for the throat on Falstad.
Have to be careful. They may be overstaying their welcome. Worgen form Greymane is very angry right now. Falstad has fallen, and they're like, okay, guys, we got the keep. Let's go ahead and just disengage.
Yeah, and between Greymane and Li Ming, they have some reset potential because Greymane took over the throat, so they got to be careful in situations like that. Yeah, they just lost Falstad, and they were still up one more member on the enemy team. But when you get those resets, that can be a really big swing in favor of the enemy team. So.
It is also interesting to note, so Jaina did go pretty much the full Frostbolt build, and this Li Ming did the teleport build.
Yeah, I like it actually because, you know, when Zeratul's in your face, you can teleport to damage him, and you don't need to move forward into the team fight, which is pretty good. So I like that pickup. Greymane mostly cocktail build, with a little bit of addition to Inner Beast. So I like that too.
Yep.
In the bottom here, Jaina forced to blink away. So much damage going down. Ralph Ring of Frost only hits Greymane.
Yep. Man, and Jaina, Dead Fear has just been so on tonight with those Ring of Frost. Huge. Vala taking so much damage. Great job by Zeratul to blink in, finish her off. Void Prison goes down onto 2 members, and they are in trouble. Nice gust back by Falstad. And Li Ming looks like she will get away.
Yeah. That's okay. I mean, at this point,
they did get Tassadar, though.
They honestly could move. They're going to just take the Dragon Knight.
And they can go straight on the core.
Yeah, they could have ended without the Dragon Knight, but they're going to play it safe here and just take the Dragon Knight. As you said, great play by Zeratul there. He ensured a kill, used Void Prison to ensure another, and Assassin's Blade getting a ton of value in that fight. As it was what let him continue the chase there, so good job.
So Li Ming is still up. She does do a lot of damage, but this is an 18, almost 19-minute Dragon Knight. So this is going to be really hard for them to contest. Greymane did just come back up. Vala's up in 5 or so seconds. But this defense is going to be super hard.
Yeah, Li Ming is now dead, and that's definitely going to be it.
That's good.
So, a really great job by both teams, I think. But you know, is ultimately late game. Sorry, I don't want to say late game because that's the name of the team. But at the end of the game, it was Mean Green Comets in the driver's.
Yeah, and Mean Green actually with kind of a comeback. Late game had an early and mid game lead for quite a while until that one crucial team fight. They were able to get a 3-person wipe, grab the Dragon Knight, and that's when they really started to come back.
Yeah, and I really like the Zeratul play as the game wore on. Like, it was very clear that he and the Jaina were communicating, and there was a missed Ring of Frost. That honestly is partially on the Zeratul because he can cancel it. So if you see it go out early, it's kind of, obviously you'd like it if your Jaina could time it properly, but if they don't, it's kind of on you to do something about it. But there was great coordination. I think honestly, Dead Fear is kind of the story for
Yeah.
me Comets.
No, Dead Fear did an absolutely amazing job. The Ring of Frost was absolutely crucial in probably three-quarters of the team fights. They used that so well to just delete Vala, delete Greymane completely, and put late game on the back foot just immediately.
I thought too that Dead Fear's like performance in lane was also quite good. You saw him against Tassadar a bit. Tassadar, a very, very safe hero.
Yeah.
And Dead Fear was making him fear for his life. Fear for dead, basically, in the lane
Yeah.
because with that Frostbolt build, you're not safe on the other side of a minion. Like you'll
No.
still get hit. If it only hits one minion, you get hit
Yeah,
by
it's
it.
gonna
So
pierce. And honestly, huge shout out goes to Phoenix Sniper on Lieutenant Morales as well. 124,000 healing.
yeah, and for the most part, I really like the positioning that I saw from Phoenix Sniper. Lieutenant Morales is not one of the easier supports in terms of staying alive.
No, and
And
only one death this
one
game.
death is really good. And it's not like his team had a ton of peel. What his team did have was a lot of aggression. And
Mm-hmm.
when you are focused on making sure your team doesn't die, and in this case, the team only had Tassadar, like late game only had Tassadar to help shrug off damage. Like that gives the Morales a nice opening to kind
Yeah.
of just do what Morales does and get people healed up to full.
And
And for the most part, not only the healing but also the safeguards were very well placed
mm-hmm.
in terms of shrugging off the burst damage from late game.
Yeah, and I think that was late game's biggest weakness was that solo Tassadar. There was just so much burst potential on the side of Mean Green that the Tassadar just couldn't deal with it completely.
Yeah, it felt like there was just too much for the Tassadar to deal with. Like you can see solo support Tassadar.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, in competitive, it does happen. It seems to be more popular in EU nowadays than in NA. But like, I still felt like it was doable against this competition. But once we got into game, really saw the amount of damage that
Yeah,
Mean Green was working with, and it was rough. It was rough.
it was. Well,